All right, good morning. First off, it is beautiful today. I have the day off, it's Friday, and as such, we're going golfing. I'm just gonna go to the range, but I've been excited to go this week and haven't been able to. So we're going to head there. It's about 7 in the morning. My blood sugar is at 87, and I am always worried about going low. So I ate like a few pieces of French toast, took a little insulin, and then hopefully those carbs line up. I hate going low when I golf. Anyway, I'm very excited. I always love having a day off. I feel like it's needed to reset, recharge, and check a lot of the stuff off the to-do list that either I've been wanting to do or need to do. So today's that day, and you guys are coming along with me. So we'll see you at the course. Okay, bad news. I went to the course. They're hosting a tournament today, of course, pun intended, but I should have looked online. So the range is closed for another hour. So instead of just going home, I came to the new house, and we're going to start work. I'm debating whether or not I mow the lawn, classic domesticated dad mode, or we have an apple tree that I need to thin, and then I've got to move a fridge for our renters. So a bunch of stuff to do. But anyway, I am a little sad about the range. I was excited. All right, we are gonna move the fridge first. So I used to own and work like junk removal at a moving company. Fun fact. But I want to see if I can do this by myself. Everything's always easier with two people. I am man enough to admit that you don't have to do everything yourself. But hopefully I can throw this on the dolly and get her moved. So for anyone curious why I'm moving a fridge for our renters, my wife and I, after many long years of waiting and saving, were able to buy a house. But one of the stipulations on buying our first house was that we wanted to do it in a very affordable way. And the best way to do that, with interest rates being as high as they are here in the States, was to find an apartment where we could have renters. Thankfully, we got some renters lined up. We have this kind of split entry mother-in-law basement downstairs. And so we got all these appliances moved in, and the renters should move in the next few weeks. One job done. So one of my favorite things about this property is the backyard. There was an older couple who lived here before, and that's who we bought it from. But total generalization, but I feel like elderly people have the best yards, like flowers, everything. So they have, the most beautiful flowers, and I need to cut all these back today, but we've been letting them go for a little bit. Anyway, it's gorgeous. And then the job that I'm gonna do next is this behemoth. So I have to get in there and trim apples, which is gonna be absolutely awful. But if we're gonna make some apple jam and apple pie and apple jam isn't even a thing, is it? I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of apples, and so I need to thin it. But anyway, let's get to it. That's gonna take me a little while, but I'm gonna head to the range now. They should be open, so we'll get golfing and then we'll head home. But I'm glad we were able to get kind of a head start on stuff for the day, so I'll take that as a win. Okay, now the range is open, thankfully. So we got the bucket. I'm gonna grab the clubs, and then we're good to go. All right, so the beautiful thing about golf is that you always leave like hating yourself. So I would say smashing success for today. We're on the way to the store now. Little hack, we shop at, I guess our little town only really has like a Smith's and a Walmart. So we shop at Smith's and you get bonus fuel points on Friday, like 4 times fuel points. And so if you spend $100 on groceries, that's 400 fuel points, which is like 40 cents a gallon off gas. So with the price of gas now, totally worth it. So if you do shop at Smith's, highly recommend doing that. Also, just try to check my blood sugar because between golf and then working on the house, there's just been a lot of activity this morning with not a lot of food. And wouldn't you know it, my sensor, it actually just told me I'm at 59. But prior to that, it was telling me I had a sensor error and it lost signal. So anyway, I'm at 59, I'm at the store. I'll probably grab like a little body armor or something and sip it and then check out or buy it. Obviously, I'm not gonna steal it. But anyway, that's probably what I'll do because yeah, I can tell I'm starting to feel a little bit drained. Not super low, but anyway. What if this was my whole cart? That's more like it. Okay, that was an absolute nightmare. But let me get all this unloaded and then I'll tell you all about it. That was terrible. We got groceries, did everything, and fatal flaw, I forgot to pick up my prescriptions at the beginning. Always pick up your prescriptions before you pick up groceries. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like it always takes a sec. So I picked up all the groceries, checked out, and I was like, oh shoot, I have to go get all my prescriptions. So I did, and my fast-acting insulin was ready, but they gave me a 90-day supply, and so I asked, I was like, okay, like, why did they give me a 90-day supply? Normally, or the past few months, my fast-acting insulin has been free, but this time it was $52 or something, but it was for a 90-day supply, so I was like, okay, I guess that is weird that like maybe the 30-day supply was free with insurance, so I had them run all those numbers. Nothing worked. Anyway, turns out I think my fiscal year had lapsed or reset, and so we paid the $52, great, 90-day supply, I'm happy with it. But then she was like, okay, your basal insulin isn't pulling up. And I was like, oh no. And so ran a few things. Turns out that my script needed to be resent or whatever. So my prescription had lapsed. So we sent a message to my doctor. And meanwhile, I was like, okay, I don't think I have enough insulin to make it until like Tuesday, which is when we're expected to hear back and get everything shipped and fulfilled. So I was like, is there a chance you can do like an emergency prescription pickup? Which they do, but that took like another 10 minutes because they had just gotten an email from their manager about how to do emergency pickups. Nightmare. Anyway, we are finally on the way home. I left at, what time did I leave? I left a little before 7 this morning. It's now 11:30. Anyway, joys of being diabetic and having to deal with pharmacies, but we're thankfully on our way home now. I'm hoping I can chill for a sec before we get right back to work and everything, but whew, gotta love it. I know, I can't one trip it, not a man. All right, so we took a little bit of a break. had some lunch, chilled for a sec. Now we're going back to the house, but we need something to keep the kid busy. So we'll do that while we work on the tree and everything else outside, but we'll see you there. Okay, we are back at the house. There's this bathroom that we're gonna finish, just some caulking work, and then cleaning up. There's screws and tools all over the place, so we'll get it kind of polished up for them to move in. After that, I think we can head out back and keep going on the tree, and I'll probably mow the lawn. But this is the life of home ownership. It's beautiful. This is one of those like classic satisfying ASMR things. Getting that fine line. Yes. Well, it's not perfect, but it'll get the job done. Pretty butterfly. Now it's time to mow the lawn. Here we go. Okay, so a few things. One, my allergies are about to be super bad. So when I take these sunglasses off and my eyes look like I'm addicted to illegal drugs, allergies. But we got a new lawnmower, love it. It's electric, and then you get to select which battery you use. And so it'll show you the charge level. It's fantastic. I can get we have 3 lawns, this one, that one, and then one in the back. Well, technically 2 in the back, so 4 lawns. And I can get them all done on one battery easy. And I think that's about 45 minutes. So it's perfect. I grew up on a gas mower, but electric's fantastic. You don't have to worry about running out of gas and going to fill up. So anyway, let's get this done. Lawn 1 down. I need a trimmer, but we don't have a trimmer yet. Haven't bought one. So I might have to go around and like use a hand clipper on a lot of these edges, which I'm willing to do because I think it looks not good when there's patches of longer grass along the edge. So it's always something else to buy. All right, so I'm gonna spare everyone, even if I had it on a time lapse or sped up like 20x, watching me mow all the lawns and do yard work probably isn't the most fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these 3 lawns done, clean up a little bit, and then we'll go from there. All right, we just got home and we got another package. It's not comic books this time. It's a Dexcom. Not nearly as exciting. Okay, so I promised my wife a gourmet dinner. I'm not a gourmet chef, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna have cast iron steaks and then some petite potatoes with asparagus, some homemade rolls, and for dessert, we're torn between creme brulee and gluten-free Oreos and ice cream, which is hilarious because both of them are divine, but very different vibes. So anyway, join us. Anyway, here's sweet treats with diabetes.
The type 1 diabetic.
My type 1 diabetes cooking show. So I joke, but food is obviously a very important facet of the type 1 diabetic lifestyle. I would say that growing up, I was never really much of a foodie per se. I mean, I like to eat good food. I like to eat relatively healthy, but I never had that excitement about food that a lot of other people have. Well, years ago when I met my wife, I realized that she is absolutely a foodie. Through and through, 100%. Her family is the same way. When we hop on group calls with her family, the first question isn't, how are you? It's, what did you eat? What did you have for dinner? So, big adjustment for me, but I realized I needed to step up my game if I wanted to impress her. So, ever since, we've been doing a lot of cooking and trying new recipes. And it really is a lot of fun to add cooking as another hobby because you do it anyway. We have to eat food regardless, so why not get good at it? So I've really enjoyed seeing progress in the food that we make and enjoying it with my wife. And it's been a really kind of surprising element to life that I didn't expect to bring me the happiness it does. But I figure I can take everyone through this meal to wrap up this video, and then how I would treat it insulin-wise. So I apologize, you've already seen me doing prep work with the potatoes, the asparagus, and now we're on to the steak. So the asparagus just went in, I seasoned it. There's a little oil in the pan, and then I just added some water to steam it. Oil goes in the cast iron, and we render the fat cap on the steak and let that sear. Meanwhile, the potatoes are in the air fryer. Air fryer is a total potato hack. They're so good, crispy every time. Here I'm butter basting the steak. I always throw a shallot in for extra flavor. There's garlic, and if I have rosemary, I'll throw in a sprig as well. Stirring asparagus. Asparagus cooks pretty quick, so I hate soggy asparagus. Total pet peeve. I like it to have some crunch. So we took that off the burner. Butter basting the other side of the steak, and this one's ready to come off. I'm going to do the same thing with that second steak, but we don't need to replay the whole process. So I'm going to let it drip over a plate for a little bit, and we'll actually use those drippings here with this mixture. This is mushrooms and shallots, and I'm sauteing them for a reduction sauce, and so those drippings from the steaks went in. Here's some heavy cream, and we're going to let this simmer until that cream reduces and the sauce thickens up. Here I'm plating the asparagus, trying to make it look a lot cleaner and professional than I really am, because I just pulled these potatoes out of an air fryer. So again, love potatoes in the air fryer. I love crispy potatoes, and it really is a life hack to have an air fryer and get them crispy every time. I love Cal here in the background, but putting everything down on the table, we have some lemonade. It's a summer meal. It doesn't really fit with the fanciness of the vibe, but the meat comes on last, and then we're ready to eat. We are ready. I'm going to take probably 10 units of insulin to cover the potatoes, the roll, and then dessert. But I'm excited. It's a good meal. Okay, that dinner was delicious. In my wife's words, she said, I was craving steak and didn't even know it. So that's how I know I did a good job. But for dessert, we decided on creme brulee. So again, this is me trying to be fancier than I really am. I've made creme brulee a bunch, but never in lemon shells. And there was actually lemon zest in the creme brulee mixture, but we strained it out. Thankfully, there was still kind of a hint of lemon. It was fantastic. But a quick thing with dessert, I always factor it in to my dinner if I know I'm going to be having dessert. So with my insulin dose, I'll make sure that I add a few units to reflect the sugar and carbs that come with dessert. But I don't always eat dessert, but when I do, I take extra insulin. This is what's left of creme brulee. We even ate the shells. Just kidding. We didn't.